Joining us now is George Pammer, and we're going to be talking about divorce and why it could be a happy thing. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Donna. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. As somebody that has decided to become single twice in my life, it's nice to have you here. One of the things that I learned about you as we were talking backstage is the fact that you are very other-centered. A lot of times attorneys get like a really bad rap for being like maybe conceited, or something like, standoffish, right? Just like, sadly, used car salesmen also have stereotype. But you're here to help me debunk that myth, right? So tell me what it is about the law that you find joy in helping others.
So I think especially as a divorce attorney, I think we really do have the bad rap. It's kind of the butt of the joke, so to speak.
Right.
And I've actually been divorced. I've gone through it myself. I've gone through different custody issues and battles in court. So I have a real relation to the person who's sitting in that chair in front of me. They have a lot of questions. They have a lot of fears. They don't know what their financial situation is going to be. They don't know where they're going to live. They don't know if they're going to see their children or how they're going to see their children. So I like to be able to take them and walk them through the process because I've had the experience myself. And I think I can help them get through to the other side where all those questions become answered.
Why is it not like systematic? Like New York State is not a 50-50 state. It's like an equitable distribution state, right?
Correct.
But then the person that decides what's equitable is who? The judge?
So generally the judge,
Okay.
I'm going to say the overwhelming majority of divorces actually settle. But the equitable distribution law is for the purposes of being fair, right? So a 50-50 state doesn't take into account ownership, any finances that have been put towards a particular item or an asset, right? So what you have here in an equitable distribution, it takes all those other things into account.
Got it. So let's say you have a home and you did the majority of the work fixing everything up on that house. You, in essence, could maybe get a little more equity of the home out of it. Or if somebody had an inheritance before you got married. So all those types of things are in the state of New York. We can't talk about like all the other states, but those things are kind of looked at.
Correct. So in New York, inheritance money is generally separate property, as long as you keep it separate.
Okay.
Can't put it in the joint bank account
it's commingled.
and say we have a separate property issue. So that's one thing. With the marital residence, you could be entitled to a increase in value share if you've done work on the house to increase its value. So even if you're not the titled owner, because New York's not necessarily a title state, you can still have a equitable share in a residence depending on work and improvements that have been done.
Custody too, that's hard. So at what age does a child get to decide, hey, I want to live with this parent or that parent? Is it 16 here in New York? Or?
So there's no real hard age.
Okay.
So it's really based on the child's presence and maturity, as each child presents a little bit different. Custody is probably the one area that is mostly litigated. I can settle 99% of my divorces on finances. The custody will go to trial. That's probably the hardest area of law that there really is, and probably the most litigated area of law.
What about pets? Does
New York has a new standard.
I was going to ask you, okay, tell me about that.
New York has a new standard. It's the best interest of the pet.
Okay.
It's actually rather new. My firm actually had to prosecute one of these cases fairly recently in Suffolk County. And it really, it extends out similar to the best interest of the child, but not quite to that extent, as to who's the caretaker, who's the one that's really done any maybe training with the dog, who does the feeding, who does the walking, who takes the medical care for the animal.
Okay.
So there's definitely a standard now.
Well, that's good. I think because I feel that that's also really in the pet's best interest too, right?
Right.
It's not a piece of property where it's like, oh, that's my cup,
Right.
Like, because pets have a life of their own too. We've done a lot of stories on pets, and it's amazing. Pet parents are like some of the most passionate people that there are. Speaking of passion, you are devoted to helping others, whether it's veterans or also people that have had abuse issues in the past. Can you talk to us about that, about who you are in the community helping others?
Sure. So I do a lot of work with the Suffolk County Bar Association where I'm on the board.
Okay.
So I work with the Veterans Law Clinic, which every year hosts an event at the Bar Association in Suffolk County where veterans can come in free of charge and get legal advice in any walk of life or area of law that they need. I then take on those that have family and or matrimonial issues, and I will usually take them on pro bono, so no legal cost to them, and we take those cases on. I also do a legal clinic with the U.S. Marine Detachment, 247 in Bayshore, New York, as well as other, during the course of the year, I do other veteran events.
Lovely. And what about those that are suffering from abuse issues?
Sure. So, you know, the legal community, the legal field is probably one of the most afflicted with drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
Addiction is a difficult topic. And, you know, to be an attorney, you're a type A, right? You know, you're not the kind of person that's going to go asking for help and reaching out. So I work on the Lawyers Helping Lawyers Committee, and what we do is we're able to maintain a 12-step meeting for attorneys that are dealing with addiction problems and alcohol issues, as well as, you know, hotline numbers to call if you need additional help, medical treatment. So we like to be there and help the attorney be a better attorney and be a better person, because sometimes what we do gets to be a little too heavy.
A little stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand what you're talking about. I also like that you said that you'd be willing to take calls from other people in other states, just if they needed to set up a similar group, you'd be welcoming them to learn how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've actually started working with Nassau County and some of the other county counterparts on this type of program. New York State has a robust program as well at the New York State Bar Association. So absolutely, if there's anyone else out there that wants to reach out and kind of figure out how to set up a program to assist lawyers in dealing with alcohol and drug addiction, I'd be more than willing to help.
Thank you so much. Yay, George Pammer, Esquire. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yes, and good luck on all your pet cases and your people cases.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Stay tuned for more. We're living it up right here. Be well.